Team Liquid has first picked Gwen already this split. Hoping to bait the ban here. So now it's a pinch. So
Okay.
either
so it's like, are you going
Gwen
Taliyah or
Taliyah.
Gwen? Yeah.
Yeah, they're making TL choose.
They go Vi.
So they just go for the Vi.
But it's APA's like best pick. I really love APA's Taliyah. So it's just a sacrifice that they have to make.
And I don't think Bwipo's super threatening on Gwen. It could be famous last words, but we'll see. It's a Vi hover for now. I'd like the Taliyah personally.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean,
he can try play like any against Taliyah, you know,
That's
that
true.
is good with Vi and you have good skirmish early game. Maybe they go for this way, you know, to have a better early game.
Vi Ziggs is also a good combo.
True, they can play
If they
Vi
want to
Yeah.
beat Ziggs later.
and it's good against Taliyah too.
yeah, we've been seeing a few picks actually pop up in priority recently. Like Vi, of course, has always been a priority, but like Ryze has been something we've been seeing a lot more as an early pick, regardless of the matchups. People are willing to play. Okay, we'll just really just smash the Taliyah lane. That's why I'm interested in what APA is going to go here, because technically, once again, Ryze is really good for setting up for a gank. So that could be the option they go for.
Yeah, I think they'll just go for Ziggs actually, because yeah, he's APA, right? And
True.
to be honest, it's a fine matchup against Taliyah too. And you have the combo with Vi, so you can kill Taliyah really easy on side lanes.
There's the Gwen.
And I feel like inspired on Zhao, he is. I mean, okay. We can talk about how great of a jungler he is regularly, and then we got the
There
APA
we go,
Ziggs pick.
yep.
We got the APA Ziggs pick. So I want to see how much pressure is going to come through mid lane, because Taliyah's and Zhao is just so much 2v2 skirmishing. So APA recognizes he's going to be the target, should play rather safe on the pick, especially if he's on side. So interested to see how that game plays out.
Also remember, if anyone wants to press the horn of upsets, they can.
Yeah,
If
they
you
want to go APA
True.
Ziggs,
If you feel like Gwen
horn of
Ziggs
upsets.
Vi is strong enough, you could buzz in now.
I need one more pick. What about you, Sayas?
He's
No
eyeing
pressure or
it.
anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this 1-2-3 looks fine for TL for sure. You know?
Yeah.
They are really good with the picks. I'm not sure about impact on Gwen only. I never see too much about his Gwen. But you know, Vi and Ziggs, they just love it, you know. But
I was
I'm
about
not pressed too much yet.
We also got Busio Bard. The last time
Yeah,
we played
that's
Bard,
gonna
it
be-
was
That's
nasty.
sad. I was literally hovering the horn right next to you, and then I see Busio Bard. I think we're putting the
Put
horn
it
down.
right back down.
I think we're putting it down.
Yeah, he's pretty good Bard and he's really good against Vi, right? Vi just go in, you just ulti whenever Vi ulti,
Yeah.
and you can engage after, so he's a pretty good pick for sure.
And he's, you already said it, but Busio's Bard has been insane. I think he does a great job of playing alongside Inspired and making like a play happen on sides. So it's pretty dangerous for Team Liquid on side. Sometimes throughout this split, I feel like Impact does get caught out on like FlyQuest plays. I mean, not FlyQuest plays specifically, but just plays on sides. And this game is pretty much dedicated to it with FlyQuest.
Yeah, the Bard is the best champion to do that. Right?
Yeah.
He's just so fast, he can go to one side and recall in like in 10 seconds he's already on the other side, so it's really hard to not get a play from Bard on the mid game. So.
And I do think that's the thing that Busio has said he's improved on the most in terms of a support as he's grown throughout like the past year and a half. Kai'Sa and Lucian bans.
What are you looking at from
Coming
the
in
bot
against
lane here
Yeon.
for Team Liquid, Seos? Because they're the ones that need to basically pick their entire bot lane.
Yeah. So you can go for example, a Rakan that is not like the best in lane against Bard, but Rakan and Vi together are so strong, you know. And with Rakan, you can match the side play, because Rakan and Vi too can kill like almost any champion in the game. So you can do like a Rakan Jhin, for example, because Jhin can play he can play alone on mid waves and let Rakan go to whenever side he wants. So yeah, they can go for this pathing.
Interesting. And now FlyQuest, they can pick their top laner if they want to wait for a bit of an AD carry counterpick, since they know they're going up against Gwen Vi already. Bans were targeted directly at Bwipo with the Olaf and the Ambesso. What does he have cooking?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
He locked it in! Oh my god!
I never would have guessed that.
Literally not in my wildest dreams do I expect a Singed even from Bwipo.
So technically, the rumble bug that was red side, blue side skewed was also true with Singed Poison Trail.
Yeah.
So red side Singed was also quite weak until this patch where it's been fixed.
Wow.
So technically, this is a stronger red side Singed than we've almost ever seen.
We need a Singed camp. Because this guy is going to be dirty farming. I can't wait.
I don't even know if it's a good matchup. maybe yes, right? Gwen can't really catch Singed probably. I don't know.
I don't even know if he's going to interact with the matchup. This guy is going to be finding his way behind the turrets.
He's just going to be proxying the entire game. But the one thing it does do is kind of affect the way TL have to play side lanes, right? Because they do have to watch out for this power pushing Singed. And Bwipo has been really strong on these picks before, which is just like almost side lane or nothing.
Yeah.
And I have to warn Team Liquid, because you're not only gonna get gooed, but you're gonna get Bard ultied. It's like you can't move if you're or you're gonna get Bard ultied and then he's gonna put the goo on top of you. But no matter what, you're getting stuck.
Is Singed Taliyah Jhin enough topside damage? That seems really low against a Gwen. I can't wait to see this.
Do you want to blow the horn of upsets? Do you think the Singed has given...
They locked in Jhin! Okay, the damage I feel like we'll see.
You can W off the poison trail and root them for no reason.
Someone's having a tough time this game. I still have faith in the draft from Fly.
So the three of you still think Team Liquid will win this, despite the Singed Bard?
I think Fly will still win.
Okay,
I'm not sure about the Sing, to be completely honest. I don't know how is the matchup. I feel like if the matchup is not good, then maybe TL can win, you know, but...
Wow. Okay, well, I'm glad we got to see the Singed get locked in. Casters, what do y'all think?
Added perspective, guys.
I actually think it's supposed to be a really good Singed matchup.
Okay.
I remember I was reading about this matchup from a Singed OTP, and he was saying it was like really, really easy. It's super comfortable. That basically there's a lot of good interactions with buffering your flip. So like when Gwen is looking for EQs, you can actually buffer, and sometimes the timing can work out that the snip then goes behind you.
So she's chopping nothing.
Exactly. So she's just hitting air basically. So there's some cool interactions that you can do there. I know that it is considered, you know, one of these matches where you want to go Flash Ignite. I don't think we're going to see that in pro play. I think we are just going to see TP. That's kind of the more standard, of course. But it is supposed to be quite good, and it is supposed to be relatively easy to disengage when the Gwen is looking for all-ins, because when she throws down that R1, you know, post 6, you can kind of just fling her away and throw the goop down and just walk out and kind of make her waste that ultimate. Yeah. So even in the actual 1v1, not just proxy farming, it is supposed to be pretty Singed favored according to the Singed 1 tricks and stuff that I've seen and watched. So I do think it's going to be pretty cool to see Bwipo bringing this out. But as much as Singed is incredibly easy mechanically, I do think this is one of the champions that requires the most kind of like niche knowledge, right? Like about when to proxy, how to play out in fights.
He plays so different.
He plays so differently. You know, even a lot of people think about, oh, well, you're playing Singed, you should flank. Something that was really interesting that when I was watching the Singed 1 trick was talking about, in a lot of team comps, it's actually better to basically use your passive and run by all your teammates as like almost like a launching pad to get move speed, and you just straight up run straight at them and start a fight like that.
Well, a little bit of scrapping here at level 1, but a reminder, I honestly believe there's probably a lot of people watching that don't even know what Singed passive is because you pretty much never see him. He does get a quick boost of movement speed when he runs by another champion. Yep. This can stack up to 25 times, but he can't proc it off of the same champion in multiple times in quick succession, excuse me. So yeah, for 2 seconds, 8-second cooldown per champion. So if you can run past all your allies, then run through all the enemies, you're zooming.
Exactly. Like, it sounds super troll, but like I said, you know, at times it can actually be better to just run straight at them because you can get such a boost of move speed that you can just run through them and start a fight off that way. So it's going to be really interesting to see Bwipo's level of comfort. Also, there were some changes a while ago where if poison is applied to a minion, it automatically gives you the last hit, even if your minions would get that last hit. So that has made Singed more popular. People are trying it out, I think, a lot more since then. It does not give you a guaranteed last hit if your tower kills it, but it basically makes it impossible to miss CS. As long as you have poisons on the minion, you are always going to get perfect CS all of the time. So it's really a breeze to farm on this champion, and you can get, like, you know, 11 CS per minute or more at times if you are focusing on farm.
Plus, the fact that as long as his ultimate is active, the poison also by default applies grievous wounds.
Very nice too.
Gwen is tanky because of her W and because of Vamp, because of being a drain tank. So Singed just being able to deny that, I think could be very powerful once we get to these later fights. And Bwipo's just being annoying, tossing impact around, spreading the poison throughout the minion wave, stepping away from that Q, just being as obnoxious as possible, as inspired. Let's see if he can do anything about this big wolf that Yuuji's farming up here. Jumps in, nicely done from Inspired, man.
Oh, I guess actually one of the Little Wolves maybe went to Yuuji there. I think he was spotted on this invade, but Yuuji, I guess, didn't have his smite, or maybe just didn't want to use it. I didn't actually catch if the cooldown was up right as he came in. He does have the smite now. Of course, Inspired does not, but he can still push Yuuji off of this, and he's trying to be so annoying. Clearly wants to play around that Singed lane, knowing that the Singed can come over and assist, and is going to be starting this up. Of course, I don't know if Inspired wants to fully commit to it, because Yuuji didn't use his smite, so he should know that he'll have a smite charge here. And Inspired is basically just trying to be as annoying as possible. I think he's saying, you know what, if we're both not farming, it's good for me.
Right, because Vi really likes to be level 6 to make her plays, and Inspired's just like, you know what, I'm Xin Zhao. I still have most of my kit pre-6. I'm fine with this if we're both slowed down. Bwipo's still just keeping things shoved up. Yeah, he doesn't care, dude. The Scuttle Crab is not even enough to draw him away. He is committed to this harass as Massu has to flash away to make sure that he stays safe there from CoreJJ. Deadly Flourish hits. A little bit more damage coming out from the FlyQuest in bottom lane here in the 2v2. Meanwhile, yeah, we got Inspired trying to continue to harass Yuuji. This is ridiculous, man. Inspired now has the summoner spell. Bwipo has made his way into the mix. They're going to commit quad to it as well. Impact's now going to be in some danger as the Unraveled Earth is already thrown down. Inspired flashing away, but it's first blood over to APA. FlyQuest wanted to commit so hard for this, but it's not going their way. Yuuji's about to get another kill. It's another 1-for-1. Never mind. Bwipo tosses APA right back into the stink, and it's Feet of Warfare for FlyQuest in a 3-for-2.
And that is blue buff as well onto Bwipo there. And Yuuji has not gotten his 4th camp yet at 4:35. He didn't even finish his full 3rd camp.
What the hell is going on?
He's on 2 full camps at almost 5 minutes. Inspired just said, you know what, buddy? You're not playing League of Legends today.
That was so goofy. I thought for sure FlyQuest might have overextended a little bit. Yeah, they were trading even, but they were dying first, but they had secret weapon Bwipo ready to go.
I mean, and Bwipo got all 3 kills. How mad are you if you're Impact? You got counterpicked. There's the most random fight in the jungle. Your lane opponent gets all 3 kills and the blue buff. Good luck laning now in a matchup that you got counterpicked. It's crazy. As they are able to get the blue buff. He messed around with him for so long. Smite came back in. They go in. They try to finish off Impact here. The Shroud got a lot done, but then Bwipo was able to just flash over the wall, finish him off. And even though Quad is going down early, they both had to commit their flash to kill him. And the poison is ticking and ticking. APA is he has no flash. There's no way out. The Screaming Galio phase, triple kill, Feet of Warfare, all goes to Bwipo. He hit him with the gameplay, baby.
He's loving this. There's no way you couldn't be. That is the dream start for a top laner, getting to scrap like that.
Yeah, that is so fun, right? Like when you get to have a game like this, when you get that far ahead, even if you weren't ultra comfortable on the champ, now it doesn't even matter. In APA, they're looking for the roam here.
Okay, Mega Adhesive not going to be able to stop the Ziggs from getting away far enough. And especially being hyper-accelerated on a champion like Singed that just turns into a mega ball of stats. Massu takes a lot of damage there, down to 150 HP. Does stun CoreJJ up on the trap to get a little bit of firepower back, but Yeon and Core in control on this one. Mega Inferno Bomb means Busio is down and Massu's at 50 HP. Sidesteps another Mystic shot. Massu popping the barrier, trying to stay alive, but Yuuji knocks him down to size. Team Liquid now going to take the kill lead 4-3. Nice plays there with both Yuuji and APA, setting it up so that Yeon and CoreJJ can complete what they started.
Yeah, that is some really good play from the TL bot lane. Finding a point of power here. Yuuji gets in there. Quad looking for Yeon, but not going to be able to find the angle, unfortunately. And Massu realizing, you know what, someone's behind me. I can't just run, so I'm going to try to fight my way out. He tried to barrier bait, see if he could find something there. But now, despite that big lead for Bwipo individually, it is TL with a slight gold lead here.
Very good stuff for Team Liquid, being able to find those kills. Again, we talk about the importance of Yeon being ahead, of Team Liquid being able to play around this star AD carry who can really be the guy that steps up in the clutch moments and carries them to wins that they otherwise wouldn't be able to get. A 1-0-1 Ezreal, he's already got his Sheen, he's already stacking his tier. This is the beginning they need.
Absolutely is. And though Busio is behind, this guy, we haven't talked about his Bard yet because Singed has been in the game and has 3 kills.
Right.
But Busio Bard has been going crazy. And Busio in general, Man, this guy has just been on a tear. He's been styling on everyone on this Bard. I think he's the best Bard in the West, easily. You know, we saw him dunking on G2 with it. We have seen him going crazy. So even though he is behind now, he can still get out on the map and really affect things. Like, he's always looking for these aggressive plays, always trying to find angles. And he's just been leveling up.
Man, you are really a big fan of Busio. You are like the president of the Busio fan club over here. What's
I am.
Oh, apparently you are.
I have some reasons. He's the Bard GOAT.
Okay.
He 3-0'd G2. It was easy. He does great interviews. He's been streaming. He's got the content.
You've got an entire presentation prepared just to praise this man. Okay, Azael, #1 Busio fan in A.
Anyone who smacks EU makes a fan out of me. That's all it takes. You go to Worlds, smack EU, guess what? You'll get a presentation.
All right, well, FlyQuest just G2'd the grubs, 3-0, taking those away from Team Liquid.
It was about as competitive as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're having fun with this game, too, here. It's a good time out here for the Busio fan club, as FlyQuest will go ahead and secure that first neutral objective for themselves. Worth pointing out, that is the first neutral objective, period. The first Drake has not been taken yet, as Bwipo is going to make his way back down here into the bottom lane to interrupt the recall of Impact. Yep, just hit him with the goop. As he sees him again. He's gonna hit him with he doesn't even auto attack him. He just walks up, turns the poison on for 1 second, and walks away. This champion is built to just piss people off. He just walks up specifically. Raz has done that to me before. It's an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, this one does some damage, though. He's got the Leandries. I mean, look at the item buy. He wants to keep Impact around because Impact has nothing. He's got no items.
He's got a book and a rock.
Yeah,
this is a fully completed item.
He's up 1K, but actually, as far as current combat power, he's up way more than that because Bwipo has bought and Impact has not.
Ooh, quad flashing away here with the Mega Inferno Bomb combined with the ulti from the Vi. Busio tried to save it, but the Tempered Fate couldn't arrive in time, and that means Team Liquid got their man. But now Yuuji's in some serious danger. Only 100 HP left as Busio's looking to chase him down. Core and APA want to try to protect. Busio goes through the wall on a magical journey. A little bit more damage is required, and wind becomes lightning, and it strikes Yuuji down.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get one back there. Good aggressive play, though, from TL. Continuing to put on that pressure here. APA is up 1K now. He was up heavily last time he played the Ziggs against Cloud9 as well, but they couldn't actually close that one out. So we'll see if they can get the win in this one. And the fact that Bwipo had to actually roam up to help with that play meant that Impact got to fully push in the wave and buy. So finally now he's kind of out of that disaster position here as Yuuji playing around vision well here, goes in, flashing forward, gets that ulti down, and now it's an all-in.
Oh, Bwipo trying to get away with a flash follow from Impact, ready to snip him down. Nicely done from the Gwen.
I mean, getting a solo kill on the guy who counterpicked you and started with 3 kills, and you're down items?
That's big stuff.
That is huge, and that is back-to-back games that he has now gotten that solo kill onto Bwipo. Yes, the first game was off of that TP interrupt that Bwipo probably wouldn't have put himself in that position had it not been to help out the team, but still, a solo kill is a solo kill.
Kill's a kill.
And Impact getting back-to-back ones in Game 1 and Game 2. I don't want to see a replay and see what went wrong there.
Yeah.
You know, perhaps Bwipo just getting a little bit too aggressive. Whether you're ahead or not, if you disrespect Gwen, she can absolutely punish you. And during the ulti, you have to disengage. You know, you're not really looking to kind of fight that out and 100-0 that. I'm guessing that Bwipo probably still didn't have his ult from that roam towards mid and then maybe just got a bit over-aggressive and was able to be punished there by Impact.
Yeah, Bwipo's ulti being active right now tells me I'm probably of that same belief.
Face check, that's probably what happened.
Oh, he was sitting on top of Vision, and so Impact just drops the ulti, hits him with the first 2 needle. He hit him with all 3 needleworks and a full snip, and Bwipo didn't have an ult.
Yeah, and Bwipo there, I think what he wanted to do was probably just drop the Mega Adhesive and just walk straight away. Instead, what he was trying to do is he tried to put that behind him and then fling him, but because he was in the Shroud, he couldn't actually interact with him there, so he couldn't get that. So meanwhile, he's taking so much damage from Impact, and by the time he finally gets in that Shroud and flings him away, it's a Q flash to follow. He finishes him off there, so just a little bit too aggressive from Bwipo. given that he was already low health and had no ulti, and Impact is able to find the angle to punish here. And now Quad, no flash.
Yeah, Quad could be in some trouble as Yuuji has to commit the ulti to take him down here, but with Impact right beside, it should be an easy kill. They want to give it to Impact if they can, and there it is. That last hit will seal the deal. Meanwhile, up there on the top side, Bwipo is in some serious danger yet again. Going to need to take another recall.
Yep, going to be sent back to base. I'm assuming Ziggs kind of slowly poking him down there. And where will Bwipo go from here? You know, was obviously so far ahead of the pace of the game, is not any longer. Only 100 gold now, actually ahead of his lane opponent. So Bwipo has been stifled pretty damn well by TL. You would think after a start like that, and after watching game one, that this would have been an absolute stomp for FlyQuest. You know, you get a triple kill on the top side, all of those invades, you know, really working well, keeping Yuuji down. But Yuuji has actually been involved in a lot more. Inspired really hasn't been involved in much since that first kind of scrap in that invade. And Yuuji has found a couple repeat plays here towards Quad. Bwipo has not been able to really get any sort of an advantage. You know, he's not proxying, he's not threatening kills, and now Core is looking for him again.
Okay, Bwipo once again the target here on the Singed. Can they take him down? Exhaust used, trying to slow that Singe down. Bwipo trying to run the other direction, but it ain't gonna matter. Yuuji being there as well. He ends up taking the kill, perhaps with a red buff tick, I think, because he was walking away by the time it was done. But FlyQuest are not looking nearly as strong here in the second game. Team Liquid having a great first 14 minutes. Quad is going to grab one last plate there right before they fall. But this is a much better look from Team Liquid.
It really is, right? They have the tools to actually find these engages here. And Yuuji is playing a great game. You know, we were kind of debating when we were watching the draft about, you know, the merits of, like, is the Vi first pick, you know, worth it when you have a player like APA who's so good on Taliyah, and Taliyah can be really powerful. Well, Yuuji is showing the value, right? He is finding these fights, he is finding these engages constantly, picking on the solo laners here from FlyQuest, you know, punishing Quad multiple times, now punishing Bwipo here. You can see Bwipo was trying to, you know, stop Core from headbutting him backwards with that Mega Adhesive, but then Core just walks out of it and then does it. So, you know, not really an easy way out there for Bwipo, and is struggling to create an advantage, you know, after getting those 3 early kills. Hasn't really been able to get much done with it. Double TP on Quad.
Yeah, double TP coming down here from Team Liquid. They want to make a play on the Quad right now because we've got some important timers coming up. That was perfect from APA. Beautifully done there on the Ziggs. Knocks Taliyah off the wall. Guess what, Isaac? Infernal Drake just spawned. Guess what? We've also got the Rift Herald spawning right now. That's the exact timer that Team Liquid wanted to accomplish that goal. APA also just hitting level 11 here very recently, means he's got his level 2 ulti. Team Liquid's in a great spot for these neutrals.
They absolutely are, and I mean, Busio is going to throw down his ult to try to deny the satchel, but all it does is delay it a couple seconds, and then they're going to be able to knock down that tower. Fly do get first tower on the top side, so they get feats. So that is something, maybe that made the difference. I'm not actually sure if the Bard ult was the difference on that play, but that's clearly what he's going for.
That's probably what it was for, yeah.
Exactly, that's what he was going for there, is just trying to stop the satchel so that Bwipo could get first tower. They do at the end of the day. So clever play, especially if it was the difference maker in those couple seconds to get Fly that slight advantage. But it is TL in control here. It is TL up over 1,000 gold. Looking really strong.
Yeah, Busio could be in some serious danger here. Wants to go on a magical journey to get back over the wall, but he's about to die to the Mega Inferno Bomb. APA blows him away as Inspired tries to defend himself here with the ulti, but that Zhao is not very strong. Team Liquid slamming FlyQuest around.
Yeah, this is great. Back-to-back plays here again from TL, putting on pressure. Feels like APA is everywhere this game. This is APA Ziggs at his best. He's down towards bot side, knocking Quad off his ulti, getting a kill there, throwing the ult from long range. And Yeon and APA are a pretty deadly duo with the long range ultis here. When Yuuji goes in and you're throwing the Mega Inferno Bomb plus the Ezreal ulti over the top, that is hard to get away from.
Team Liquid's prodigal mid laner returns here in game number 2. The Cassiopeia performance did not impress, but he's back on his Ziggs, he's back on his comfort, and he's back to making big plays for Team Liquid here in the following game. 3-1-4 on that Ziggs, has had massive impact so far in the early game, and Team Liquid, Isaac, has an incredibly commanding lead of 2,500 just 17 minutes into the game.
They absolutely do. Bwipo here flings him in instead of trying to disengage during the ult, but is having the advantage.
Okay, trying to sidestep a little bit more of that Q damage there. Tosses him again, right back into the poison. Mega adhesive locks him up. That redemption's not even needed. Bwipo with the solo kill on the Singe.
Yep, and that is Impact without having spent a lot of his gold here. We're sitting on a couple thousand gold. Bwipo had 2 completed items, and maybe Impact there getting a little bit too confident. Bwipo didn't even have to run from the ulti. I was expecting him more to just try to disengage the Gwen ult, then
Just
go back
face
in
tanked
after. He just straight up face tanked it and killed him.
And that's one of the things that I was talking about with the Singed. As long as your ulti is active, your poison automatically applies grievous wounds. So there's not all the healing that you would normally expect from Gwen's Q, from her needlework, from everything that she normally gets to hit you with if you're just standing still and tanking it. So Bwipo's just fine saying, all right, we're just going to stand here and fight. If nothing else, it baits him into overstaying. And then Impact, by the time he realizes it's too late, well, it's too late.
Yep, and when they are playing Spellbook, you know, there are some pretty nasty summoners that you can bring to these all-ins. You know, things like the Ghost to be able to have that additional move speed. Exhaust can be pretty powerful. You know, there are some nice ones to be able to swap over to look for those all-ins. TL trying to continue pushing here and trying to keep putting pressure on these towers. And as APA, they're just moving around the map as TL likes to do to just make the most out of the Ziggs. Try to knock down constantly these towers. And he's gotten about 300 gold, a little bit less than that from First Strike, so about a kill's worth of gold from this as well, which is helping to build that lead even further.
Okay, Busio just 100-0, nearly, but not quite close enough. He gets away through the magical journey. A Caretaker's trying to make sure that the last little bit of damage doesn't take him out, as now we could have a bit of a 2v2 down here on the bottom side, making a 3v2. Team Liquid sending in the reinforcements, immediately just deciding to focus on Inspire to keep himself alive a little bit longer, but Impact cuts him off. Now Bwipo's about to be the next to fall. Team Liquid sends more men, and they win the fight because of it. Massu is their way too late, and now he's in danger as well. A TP coming in to reinforce him as Yeon and APA are on the hunt. You are going to see the recall there from Impact. As Quad nearly dies immediately. That was beautiful from TL. Now the reinforcements are almost dead. Yeon's about to take Quad out. Impact arrives back in the fight. Masu's running straight to the enemy base. This was a comedy of errors for FlyQuest and a triumph for TL.
I mean, we talk about misplay versus outplay. That was all outplay. TL, I think, really playing that well, coordinating perfectly. And it's got to be a frustrating fight for FlyQuest because they got multiple members of TL so incredibly low, but they couldn't finish off anyone. And we can watch this back one more time. Bwipo, good placement there, flashes in, gets the root, as if you fling them into the goop, it does root them. But the TP, again, TL has been making so much use out of these TPs. Look at Impact's health, incredibly low. Yuuji, incredibly low, but Bwipo gets satcheled to the side, can't get in to finish them off. That's 3 members of TL. Then if Massu gets 1 or 2 autos, he can finish them off, but he can't actually get access to anyone. And then when Quad TP's on the counterplay, the timing on the ult was perfect, and now it's TL. They're taking Otacon as well.
And I don't think FlyQuest can probably do a whole lot about it, but they are going to move in and try. Quad going after APA as the Tempered Fate locks up the Otacon, but Quad is about to die here at the very start. APA goes on a rampage. Otacon contested, stolen away by Inspired as Massu is firing with a curtain call, and FlyQuest are fighting back. CoreJJ here on the front line, soaking the damage for now, tries to re-engage. Inspired dies to another massive ulti-wombo combo. Yeon and APA are artillery cannons, and FlyQuest is looking like a crater.
Yeah, that is looking like 2 players playing with one mind. Yeon and APA, so well coordinated on that. Even with Core swapped over to the Smite, though, they couldn't actually secure the Otacon, so they get this deal, they get some kills, and FlyQuest keeping it interesting.
And that's actually huge. The Otacon steal there. Yes, Team Liquid's damage is still crazy from these carries. This is one of the most massive flower petal differences we have seen. 40 versus 12. That is a plus 28 flower petal advantage for FlyQuest. Considering it's a 2,600 gold lead for TL, that's going to make up a huge part of that actual real power that you have in terms of your economy. Let's take another look at the fight.
I really like how Quad plays this out. He draws so much pressure because he's putting all of this damage in onto APA. It means that Core actually can't stay over by the Otacon, so Core is not even there to use their double smite, which I think is why they were so confident to actually go for this. So it becomes a straight up flip, with actually the edge being on the side of Inspire, but now Bwipo caught.
Yep, Yeon could be in some danger, but he hops in the Herald to try to get away. They want to try to snipe this down and take him out, but immediately Yeon disengages. FlyQuest still chasing after, trying to find anybody on Team Liquid to kill. CoreJJ is going to be their first target, but Bwipo's trying to run, and he may have ran in a little bit too far. He stays alive for now. Yuuji wants to go in, but Busio's not going to tolerate it. He finally falls too. Double kill back over to Bwipo. As Team Liquid continues running, Yeon, Impact, and APA all still alive. Massu firing there with a curtain call. The last shot does not hit Impact. APA still trying to interfere here with the Drake. FlyQuest, they take out the jungler, they take out the support, they lose their own top laner and support for it. Isaac, we've got 29 kills in 22 minutes. This game, too, is a bloody one.
It is so much fun watching the second game here. TL really pushing FlyQuest in this one. And that was a crazy fight right from the get-go. As, you know, Bwipo is getting in on Yeon. Yeon is able to jump in the Herald and create so much space. Bwipo did eventually get taken down as he's chasing in, but he got so much damage done with the poison before falling. And Massu just raining hell down onto TL. At the end of the day, they do walk away with the dragon. So 2 dragons to 1 there for FlyQuest. I feel like we're pretty much dead even when you're accounting for all the adaptive force and experience that they did get. It is a really close game. So it's going to be up to the members on TL with the advantage. And namely, you're looking at APA and Yeon. But honestly, even on the top side, Impact's closing in on 3 items. So all their carries are super strong. And it's kind of just coming down to, like, can they execute?
And I think that right there is the question of kind of the entire split right now for Team Liquid, because when we saw them play against Cloud9 last week, it's not like they can't get advantages. It's not like they've forgotten how to play League of Legends. We saw massive advantages for Yeon in that first game, for APA in that second game, but they could not convert that to wins. They could not finish and close out the game, and that's the challenge they're tasked with here with this 3,000 gold lead they have over Fly.
And we have to look at this death cap for APA. I mean, this guy is nearly 3,000 gold ahead, and yes, there is all this adaptive force going to the other side. So like, as far as like actual gold value, I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll check that out here in a second as APA and Yuuji are looking to take out Bwipo, but it's so very hard to do. The Singed is still on the run. Impact's coming up to help him with the last bouncing bomb. Not quite going to find the target. Needlework, though, slowing Bwipo down as he tries to find a different angle, but he might have stuck around a little bit too long. Impact goes on a killing spree, and finally, they will bring down the Singed. However, at the same time, FlyQuest recognized the opportunity to use Quad and Inspired to take the tier 2 in the bottom lane. Now, Quad going to teleport up to the tier 3 there in top side. Be ready to defend that. The tier 2 is not going to be targeted by Team Liquid. They do not want to overstay and make themselves vulnerable to a FlyQuest counterattack.
Yeah, so Bwipo does go down, but that was a lot committed to actually taking him out. That was the TP from Impact, the flash from Yuuji, ults from all 3, and they got the tier 2 as a trade down on that bot side. But what I wanted to quickly touch on is, yes, there is so much adaptive force, the stats coming through from these petals, but just that's like getting a bunch of just long swords or amp tomes, right? It is not as efficient as completed items, so there is still that edge for TL because they are completing these third items here, and particularly APA is so strong right now. If he can land his combo on any of these squishy members, he is going to be ridiculously powerful.
Isaac, I know you have your client on the side computer. Could you tell me what the combined total of APA, Bomb, and... Oh, hold on, never mind. We might have a fight here first. Immediately, though, Impact's taking a ton of damage against Inspired. He's got to try to get away. Inspired chases after him as the Tempered Fate barely clips him. Busio, the Bard God, Church is in session. It ends up being a 1-for-1 as Team Liquid can punish Inspired, but the Bard ulti was just perfect there.
Beautifully placed there to be able to chase down and get that kill. But now you have the jungle advantage, so we'll see what TL can do with it. Bwipo getting knocked in.
Yeah, Bwipo's on the front line, but that's exactly where Singed likes to be. CoreJJ staying alive there with the unbreakable will as Yeon and APA fire back into those front lines. Core about to drop and they take him down, but he is traded there for Bwipo. Quad wanted to go forward for Yeon, but he can't find him. He missed! FlyQuest, they try to go for it, and Team Liquid were ready.
Yeah, Yeon again getting away with almost no HP. It feels like TL are getting away time and time again with just slivers of health, and APA is not letting anyone away. And I think you were about to ask, how much does the Q plus ult do? Well, before his buy, 1,800 damage if you actually hit the middle of that bomb before magic resist, of course. But we can watch this one more time. Bwipo gets satcheled in, but he just throws down the goop onto Yuuji to deny an additional engage, tosses in core, and Fly are kind of slowly focusing down that front line. But this engage from core, Massu wasn't quite in the ult, but still he gets chunked down incredibly low, and then one bomb finishes him off for about 40%. But we gotta go back to live because they're on the Baron.
Yup. Let's see if FlyQuest can do anything about it. Inspired stole away the Otacon the last time they were doing a major objective, but now Team Liquid just jumping over the wall. Inspired is already in some danger, but Busio's keeping him alive a little bit longer. Flash back over into the red pit from Inspired. Team Liquid still looking to take the Baron. It's down to 5,000. Busio alive at 200 HP, but the Baron has already been secured by Yuuji. Team Liquid now has to exfiltrate. CoreJJ tanking up the damage, but a nice satchel from APA to interrupt the rest of Massu's ulti. FlyQuest still trying to fight, but Team Liquid's ready to strike back. Massu approaches on the flank, but the health bars on Flyer so low. Mega Inferno Bomb, no target to be found. Team Liquid fully on the run now as FlyQuest want to chase him down. Mega Adhesive finds core. Wind becomes lightning, tags Yuuji. Deadly Flourish sidestep. FlyQuest want more. Yuuji and Impact still trying to get away. Gwen is immune, and Team Liquid will happily trade CoreJJ for a Baron.
Yeah, I mean, again, TL just getting out with no health. It just keeps happening. It's got to be so frustrating for FlyQuest. That was a great satchel from APA. Otherwise, I think a lot more TL members do die, and then it would be a guaranteed dragon for FlyQuest. And now the question is, can FlyQuest even get over to contest this dragon? They do have that one kill, but they are slower to reset, and Core is going to be up here in under 10 seconds, and TL will have that Baron buff. So you can see Bwipo kind of debating, does he want to head out towards that top side? Is he going to be moving in towards mid? It looks like Bwipo was going to try to get an angle here on Yeon, and I think they might go for the TL AD carry.
Okay, Yeon is perfectly safe right now, though. Bwipo does not have... There's nobody near Bwipo to try to get some of that passive speed like we were talking about earlier.
Need somebody to drift off of.
Exactly. And also, there's a massive stat bonus on all of the big ball of stats that Bwipo gets with his ultimate when it ranks up from 2 to 3. So Bwipo being able to hit level 16 versus fighting at 15 is a huge difference. When you're looking at the bonus stats, Singed ulti gives ability power, armor, magic resist, move speed, health regen, and mana regen. And those values jump up from 60 to 95. That is 95 extra move speed when that's active if he's level 16 when he casts it. So Bwipo hitting that point could be huge for FlyQuest to try to hold on here in the next fight, because Team Liquid, Isaac, are merciless. They take down the tier 2 in the bottom lane. They're up to a 6,000 gold lead.
And I mean, it's so concentrated on APA that if this guy hits skill shots, you just die. Like, that is where we are at this point in the game. He's on 4 fully completed items, you know, with scaling runes here in the first strike. At this point, he's gotten 600 gold from his first strike, and he is sitting on so much power, over 700 AP on the Ziggs. One combo and can just be lights out. His ulti, the center of the ulti, does 1,400 damage right now.
He just tossed it out, found no target with it. So FlyQuest know that that's at least down for the next minute or so as they continue to try to protect against this Baron push.
That's okay, because one Ziggs Q does almost 900 damage before item procs. So
okay.
Hit one of those and it basically is an ulti.
APA is the lead in this game. This guy is so far ahead. He has every tool he could possibly need to carry this one. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Just show us you can do it. Get the Nexus, get the win, show us that this massive lead means Team Liquid is coming for the dub.
Yeah, that's what they need to be able to prove, that they can actually get it done against these top teams, because the Lounge was talking about it in the pre-show. If you didn't watch that, and if you didn't watch them play against C9 last week, these games, it wasn't like C9 was just stomping them or anything. Like, we saw significantly leads from TL, especially when Yeon was playing Yunara. He was individually up nearly 3,000 gold, and still they lost that game. Still they weren't able to actually close the door on their opponent. You can see APA and Yeon, dynamic duo there, way up at the top of the table. Either one of them has done more than Quad and Massu combined as far as the damage is concerned.
Ooh.
That's the power of those poke champs when played well and when played from ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Ranged characters are normally always going to have higher damage on the charts, accelerated characters are going to have higher damage on the charts. You put those two together, you're having a great time, but who's not having a great time is Quad. This has been a really unimpressive Taliyah game from him at 1-7, just really not finding any of those big moments. As Inspired gets jumped on, immediately burst down to near death, but now a massive shutdown on APA! Team Liquid's carry has been killed! FlyQuest, this could be an absolutely game-breaking moment, as now Yeon is in a little bit of danger trying to fight inside the red buff pit. Their second carry is already down. Team Liquid has fumbled the ball, and FlyQuest are ready to go running with it.
And how much can they get with this? Because those are some long death timers, and they ran straight towards mid, so they want to try to at least get a bunch of towers off this, but this is 40 seconds on impact. Can they just end the game right off of that play?
There's no neutral objectives for them to take. This is the only place to go, and the only defenders are an Alistar with no ultimate and a FlyQuest marching down the mid lane. Team Liquid, they still have a 2,000 gold lead, but they're still all dead. It's 10 seconds on AP. Once the Ziggs respawns, they're going to have a lot of wave clear and a lot of burst.
5 seconds.
And FlyQuest are still going forward. Nexus turret number 1 is already going to be taken down. Team Liquid, they've got APA back in the mix. He tries to use the Mega Inferno Bomb, but he does not find what he needs. Bwipo's about to die. FlyQuest still putting damage into the Nexus, but Yeon is alive. Nexus barely hanging on. FlyQuest need another auto attack. Team Liquid, hold the line.
No way they hold that. That is crazy. Oh my God, when it comes that close, you have to wonder, how many auto attacks went on champions that should have gone on the Nexus. But Bwipo out of nowhere turned this game around. He was waiting over the wall on those Krugs. He gets a flash in on APA, flings him in, gets the kill, and then he was sitting on the other side of the wall, so Yeon couldn't go back and couldn't get anything done either. I don't think TL can end this. We'll see if they're gonna even try. Yuuji's going back to base, so I don't think they're actually looking for it. Busio going to delay with the ulti here, trying to buy some more time. Baron is up, and it looks like that is going to be the call. They'll just take this one inhibitor tower, but I want to go all the way back to the initial catch, because Bwipo, it felt like he pulled this game back from the jaws of defeat, played that so incredibly well. But man, you really have to wonder about a couple of the decisions there, because Bwipo, when they were focusing down the towers, he ran past the towers instead of hitting the towers to throw his Mega Adhesive in. Oh, they're TPing. They're actually going to try to just end it.
Yeah, FlyQuest is going for the send. Team Liquid trying to teleport on their own to go and defend it. Massu wants to interrupt the recalls. Bwipo and Quad will not make their way into the base in time.
Now they're going for Yuuji.
Okay, but yes, exactly. They want to go after the jungler now, seeing if there's a catch to be found. Okay, Yuuji gets away. Everybody on Team Liquid gets away. All the teleports get cast. No Nexus explodes. We're still playing.
This is crazy, man. This is giving me a throwback to some of the finals we have had with FlyQuest, with Winions, and with crazy endings that have involved them. And TL has been on the bad end of some of those plays at times. So we'll see. Is it going to be one of those crazy endings here? Bwipo, again, in a good position to try to look for something. He is incredibly strong, now has that Seekers. Has been a lot of action, but if we have the time, if it slows down, I do want to see that earlier replay. But the Dragon is up, and both teams could look for it. The question is, does TL feel safe until they get some of these Nexus towers respawning, right? That is probably what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
And if you're a TL fan, you are thanking your lucky stars for that game change from quite a while ago, because that is going to mean when those Nexus towers respawn, you can't just go for a backdoor straight.
Right. There's no more teleports. There's no more potential catch you unawares, but the Dragon is up. It is still the 35 flower petal lead for FlyQuest, which is going to make up for some of that 5,500 gold lead. We are also at the point now where, APA can't really use money anymore, so anything else that he earns is just going to be a moot point.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing would be if he wants to trade out his boots, and we never touched on it earlier because obviously, hadn't been dying at all. But he has no Zonias. He has no defensive itemization, right? This is all offense. Like, there is nothing defensive whatsoever about his build. In fact, not a single one of his items gives him a point of health, right? So this is full glass cannon on the Ziggs, and that's why when Bwipo was able to find that angle, flashed in, flip him in, he just insta-died. So, that is a possibility, but it does require a really good angle. It requires a surprising flank or something to catch APA. Because if you can't get to APA, you cannot win the fight. He just does too much damage at this point. And this guy is sitting on over 900 AP. The ulti at its center is dealing over 1,600 damage. 1 Q is over 1,000 damage. That is before Luden's proc, before Shadow Flame crits, and everything like that.
All right, Team Liquid looking to put the pressure on this bottom lane tier 3 turret. Quad hanging out over in mid to be able to clear out that side push coming in from Impact, because then he can also join the fight with a Weaver's Wall if need be. Deadly Flourish to try to stop the cannon minions there. FlyQuest holding on for now. We've still got about 25 seconds left on this Red Bull Baron power play as Quad fires off the Weaver's Wall. Not going to get a ton of value out of that one, aside from just slowing down Team Liquid's push, trying to hold this turret for one more wave, perhaps. A little bit more damage will take it out. APA just needs to satchel it, and there it is. There it goes. FlyQuest now in some danger as Impact and CoreJJ want to make the engage. Bwipo here on the front line about to die at the very start of the fight. Team Liquid take out the enemy frontliner. Everybody's still in pretty good shape, and they're gonna keep pushing. Bottom lane inhib will be the first target. Mid lane inhib's about to fall to Impact at the same time. FlyQuest base is in shambles, and TL still has a 5v4. APA, his recall gets interrupted. Nice shot there from Massu as Quad and Inspired still stepping forward. Curtain call opens. APA trying to satchel out. Massu barely misses on the third shot as APA made enough distance. But now, Busio into the back line, takes out the Ziggs. Inspired finding a resurrection there as well as the Vibe still needs to come back to life. Core and everybody else on TL scrambling to try to protect Yeon. Inspired getting himself back away. Busio and Quad against Yuuji down here on the bottom side. They'll finish him off too. Now Massu needs a little bit more damage. Yeon is still alive. CoreJJ re-engages on the Jhin. Massu's about to fall. Beautiful play from CoreJJ. FlyQuest though, still on the hunt. A TP coming back in. Inspired a Quad, and Bwipo is ready to join the fight here too. Quad gets a nice seismic shove, and Busio gets away yet again. Impact burns down to the poison, and Yeon's the last man standing. Bound to the wall immediately. You gotta be kidding me!
Absolutely insane! FlyQuest hold the line there. Who else but Busio Bard is getting it done like that? Taking out the Ziggs, gets the 1K shutdown, is able to survive through it all, and Massu, the rest of the team, holding the line without Bwipo. That was crazy from FlyQuest. This team is something else, man.
Give me a t-shirt, give me a foam finger. I'm joining the club, man. Busio is the truth on Bard. Let's watch this again.
I mean, APA barely gets out of range. That wasn't even off target, it was just out of range. But then Busio says, nope, you are not getting away, my friend. Q flash, auto, flashes in, keeps himself aligned with that Caretaker's Shrine. And then Massu on the side here, look at that flash, reacting to Core's combo instantly. But Busio, even with low health, he stays around the whole time because he knows he can still help out Quad. Over the wall, no health, binding lands, seismic shove there, they get the kill. Then this re-engage here from Core, he knows we have got to turn, we have got to fight. So he flashes in, finds the combo on Massu, who had already blown his flash earlier, because he knows if you don't go for that, they're going to wrap around behind us, they're going to take us out. But Bwipo respawns, he teleports in. There's just nowhere for TL to go. Yeon tries to get the kill onto Busio. The ulti lands, his own ulti is sidestepped, and then perfectly timed binding as well. I mean, what more could you ask for from a Bard? Like, that is a crazy sequence.
That is literally a perfect team fight from Busio.
Insane.
That is, you could put that in a highlight reel and people would think that it was a pre-scripted fight to advertise the champion and what it can do when it's played at its peak.
Yeah, it's like one of the Chinese TikToks that, you know, you're just like, well, that would never happen.
Yeah, it's like, this is clearly staged, but no, this is not. That is the real deal on Bard.
Not staged,
and
it's just Busio.
I love the fact that he played the entire fight at 10% HP after killing the Ziggs.
Yeah.
Like, that's just absolutely insane to me. FlyQuest now, they're feeling confident, they're feeling aggressive, they're gonna go in. CoreJJ is the initial target. Bwipo's in the back line. Yeon's in a little bit of danger, but he gets away for now. Tossed back in, and Massu hits the alley-oop. Team Liquid, they've been ahead the whole damn game, and they're about to lose. FlyQuest just creamed them.
Okay, but look at their pace. Their pace is being attacked. And APA's TPing down mid lane instead of TPing on the wave. Why didn't he TP to the wave in the base?
APA is trying to go in and maybe find an opportunity here, but he's only gone to the wrong spot. Now he's going for the recall. What? APA might get back?
I think maybe he was thinking he could try to cut the wave or be sneaky and he would get spotted if he TP'd to the other spot. He is back to the base, but I mean, he's the only one alive. There's just no shot.
All right, the Nexus turrets are the target and nobody else on Team Liquid is alive for about 15 seconds. Busio goes in, but he will probably die here to APA. The Ziggs still trying to defend. The Nexus exposed yet again. Massu and Quad need a little bit more damage. APA tries to hold the line. but he's executed! FlyQuest get the win in game 2.
There's just no way, man. 13-4-13 on the APA Ziggs in a loss. That is crazy. No other team in the West is coming back in that game. I don't care what anyone else says. FlyQuest making magic happen in that one. Absolutely crazy performance to be able to turn it around in that fight. Loungers, is that the best BART game you've ever seen?
I can't believe that.
Yes, it is.
One of the better
That was
games that I've
insane.
seen in terms of entertainment value.